Welcome to a behind the scenes episode with behind the scenes on the Creator to Cash launch and how I approach my launches. So, specifically, both in the free Creator to Cash toolkit and the Creator to CMO toolkit, you will find so many amazing resources, among which include a free marketing quiz and a companion YouTube video and podcast episode that I recorded on how is your marketing and getting real, not just Instagram real. And it walks you through strategy, structure, and systems, and an incredible blog post and a podcast episode on launch your business like a boss with 5 steps to success. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about the 5 steps and I'm going to correlate them specifically to the Creator to Cash launch. And then in the upcoming episodes, I'm going to pull back the curtain and take you behind the scenes with an incredible business to business tool I use and how I used it specifically in this launch. And I'll reference a couple points in this episode. Then I'll take you behind the scenes in Kajabi and also my emails there. And then I'll have an incredible episode on this series with how I used Instagram Reels and social media for this launch too, and what was the strategy behind it and what was the insight behind it. And then specifically after that, I'm going to dive into how I 10x my content in my launch easily with these 3 specific tools. And one of them is actually going to surprise you because, in fact, it is surprising me. Then again, all 3 may surprise you. So, in any event, the 5 steps to launch like a boss includes AI, ChatGPT, automation, and IO tools. So, step 1, business to business and a business to business strategy, and focusing in on intelligent outreach, aka IO connections. So, business to business can take your online launches to a whole new level. So, you may be asking, Katrina, what do you mean by that? So glad you asked. So, here I am talking about leveraging decision makers at companies to partner with you on your online course launches. Yes, that is one of my divine downloads. That means using the power of LinkedIn because the decision makers are there and using tools like Apollo.io. So in this specific launch, I reached out to marketing decision makers and human resources decision makers already this week to partner with them in 2 aspects, and I made it really, really, really easy for them, you guys. I leveraged my most popular blog post, podcast, and YouTube series, which includes the creator tools to use if you're a creator. For creator tools to use for creators and CEOs is how it's titled on YouTube on my Limitless Global Girl channel. It's a 7-part series. And then on my blog, which it's included in the Creator to Cash free toolkit and Creator to CMO toolkit. So you see the trend here on how I'm bundling value, bundling content in every single way to not only align to launches, but to create active passive income. And it's my 75 plus tips, tools, and tech to create what you love on the blog. And it's a 7-part series on the podcast, actually 2 or 3 or 4 times because every year I renew it. And then this year I also leveraged the YouTube series that I created for the first time. So I reached out to them to share that series because I feature them in it. So it's already connecting from a super authentic space that, hey, I already feature you here. Could you share it? Could you share it in any way you like? Could you share it on your blog, on your email, on your Instagram, whatever you like? So I'm leaving it freely up to them. Doesn't cost them anything. They're already featured. And of course, some people are going to ignore the email. Some people are going to say, hell yes, I love this. Thank you. And some people are going to reach out for more because I'm planting the seed immediately for more. And in that same email, I referenced the Creator to Cash free toolkit that I feature them again, inviting them to share the Creator to Cash toolkit because they can see it blows their mind. They can see that it shows so much value. And then so first it's, hey, share anything free that I already include you because I love you, I use you, la, la, la. in faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, travel, and communities. So my 75 plus tips, tools, and tech span across all of that. My second ask is, hey, do you want to partner in my Creator to Cash launch? And that's where money comes into play, because that's where we're co-creating a launch together to either bring incredible value to the table. For example, if the brand tells me, don't tell them this, but if the brand tells me, hey, we're going to blast this out to our email list of over 1 million, we consider that to be worth 10K. Like, is that okay with you? Hell yes, it's okay with me. Because even at let's say their email list is 100K, right? Even at a 3% conversion, which is average in marketing, then we're talking about basically 30K. Okay? 100K, I'm sorry, yes, 100K is 10%. 3% is about 30K. And even if like 1% of that converts, that's incredible numbers, right? Like incredible numbers. Like 30,000, 10% is 3,000. 1% is 300 times a $700 price point. That gives me, and that's low numbers, you guys. So I'm also a certified public accountant and I love numbers. Even as a 7-10-year-old, I was in different number sense contests where I couldn't use calculators to figure out numbers with other Indians and Chinese people. I was literally like, no discrimination. I was the only white girl. I was the only white person in the room. It was crazy. So even I'm giving you that example because sometimes people will step over dollars to get to pennies. Versus like if the brand tells me we're going to send this to over 100K in our email list, again, I'm using really, really low numbers of conversion and likely they have higher than this, right? So they have an email list of 100K that they're going to blast it out to, like a tool like Opus Clip or Repurpose or others that I talk about, right? That's coming up in one of my episodes with you. And using those same numbers, 100K times, let's say a 10% a 3% conversion. Again, I'm using really, really low numbers that I told you earlier, right? Is the 3,000. Let's say only 1% converts. So again, I'm being really, really low because yes, I want 10% to convert. Like that's amazing, or 20% or 30%, right? And I'm available for that and I'm willing to allow that and I'm accepting that. However, I've learned sometimes with ROI and numbers, like demonstrate it from a low perspective, because then for yourself and for other people, when you blast it out of the water, like everyone feels great, like under promise, over deliver, right? So 3,000, and let's say out of that 1% converts to actually buy the course. That's 3,000. 10% would be 300. Even 1% is 30 people times 700. I missed a zero. That's $21,000. So the brand is potentially offering me 21,000 on the really, really low end. Now, of course, it may be zero. Of course. Or let's flip that. Let's say it's a 100K email list and let's say it's a 10% conversion, right? That opens the email. That's 10,000. Now let's say instead of a 1%, let's say 10% converts. And again, I'm being conservative because 30% could convert, 50% could convert, 70% could convert. Like maybe we run a giveaway, maybe the brand bundles like a free 1-year subscription when they purchase my course. Like I'm available for that. So then that likely increases the conversion and I'm going to present that as an option to the brand, right? Especially on the SaaS aspect. Software as a service. So then let's say, and going back to my example, 1,000 people purchase my course. That means that's $700,000 with one brand. Okay. So in the subsequent business to business episode, I'm going to dive deeper on what my emails look like and the sequence and what tool I'm using with Apollo.io. Okay. So step 2, content creation, ways to ignite your launch. Compelling content is the fuel that drives your brand's presence and captivates your audience. AI, including ChatGPT, may supercharge your content creation process. So I use both ChatGPT version 4.0 in blog posts, in social media captions, in marketing materials, AI powered writing assistants, and I also use it with an incredible tool called Social Curators. Dottie is amazing alongside Jasmine Star that I also talk about in my 75 plus tips, tools, and tech. So AI radically saves 10 to 20 to 30 hours of my time and my VA's time. So this is both in the Creator to Cash Toolkit and the fractional CMO, or AKA Creator to CMO. So social media channels, step 3. Because in step 2, you're creating the content, the blogs, the podcasts, the YouTube videos, the copy, etc. Then the social media channels. So using repurposing powers and are targeting different channels, targeting from Instagram to LinkedIn to blogs to YouTube to TikTok to Facebook to Threads. So I am all about a multi-platform strategy. This did not happen overnight. And I'm constantly tweaking on how to save my time. Okay. So 2 incredible tools that I'm going to dive in even deeper in the 10xing my content are repurpose.io and Opus Clip. Opus Clip is an incredible AI tool that will take your long form content and slice and dice the videos for you automatically using SEO, search engine optimization. So A, you or a VA don't have to spend hours of time figuring out where the sound bites are. B, it does it for you in less than freaking 3 to 10 minutes. So again, saving hours of your time, and you can automatically schedule from that tool. That's part of what I'm doing in this launch and what I've done in this launch with Creator to Cash, with my 7 ways to make 7K in 7 days on every piece of content, at long form content. And Repurpose will take, like when I post on Instagram, and literally spread it across all my channels that I've already designated workflow. So it's automatic. I don't need a VA to do that. I don't need a social media manager to do that. I'm tracking the analytics. I'm seeing how it grows. And then I may use a tool to target, say, TikTok or LinkedIn or a VA, etc. Speaking of, number 4, step 4, scale your business with AI, IO, and VA. And you can note the order in which I do this. I don't automatically hand off things to a person. I challenge myself to free up time with free tools, with up-leveling and upgrading with tools like the ones I've talked about, Apollo.io, and investing in things like that. ChatGPT, Social Curators, Opus Clip, Repurpose.io. And then training and teaching my VA to leverage those same things to free up more time. And in effect, I'm teaching her about other tools that she can offer to other clients. And I know that. So scaling your business is the key to long-term success. So same with my online courses, whether, like, for example, even in my, actually, let me take it a step back, in social media, I implemented in 2024 ManyChat. Because when you comment on specific posts that I've already set up the automation, you get serviced whatever time zone I'm on. I'm in Bali right now. So if you're commenting on stuff while I'm in Bali sleeping, you get the service and the value right away. I don't have to do anything. My VA doesn't have to do anything. Okay. Then same thing with Kajabi, setting up, say, automatic pipelines and landing pages that have already been done. You can enroll in Creator to Cash and 7 ways to make 7K in 7 days right now. Doesn't matter, like, if I'm sleeping, what I'm doing. Same thing with this podcast. You can tune in anytime on iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play, on whatever, all the channels, all the things, okay? Same thing with my webinars. The webinars are already set up at fitlifecreation.com/freebies, and several of those courses are included in the Creator to Cash bundle, and that is already set up as automated. With the Moneymaker course, with the How to Create an Online Course in a Week, you can go watch the free webinar. But if you jump into the Creator to Cash bundle, you get the Moneymaker course. That's a $500 value by itself. You get the How to Create an Online Course in a Week, which is a $300 value by itself. That's already $800 in value, which is more than the price of the bundle. That's also the Transformation Toolkit, which is a $100 value for 1 month. So you get a preview of the Creation Mastermind, the Creation Club Mastermind. That's a $100 value. That's over $1,000 in value for about 70% of the investment. #girl math. Then I go to my VA and talk about here's the 5 steps I want you to scale this with. Okay. Speaking of, number 5, measuring metrics, defining success. So whether it's a launching creator to cash or anything that I'm launching or creating, key performance indicators like web traffic, conversion rates, social media reach, how many Instagram reels, customer satisfaction, comments in the course, and tracking B2B pipelines. Like, for example, in Apollo.io, I'm already seeing like 50% open rates, you guys. It's crazy. And this is my first time using a very targeted approach with decision makers via a tool like Apollo.io that connects with LinkedIn. And then also a brand new and refreshed landing page, emails, A/B testing, targeting different audiences, changing how I communicate, shifting the cadence of the emails from 2 asks in one email to 1 ask, creating new content, using new tools, using it in a different way, because in 2024 I started time blocking for the first time, and how I leverage my time is radically different. Okay. Bottom line, transformation is required to create a life and a business you love. The other thing, this launch is very different. I'm envisioning and manifesting and co-creating a focus of a minimum of 12 people. That's $8,400. I'm pouring in inner work like never before, from prayer to listening to Transformation Church and the Overflow series every single day, twice a day, to visualization and manifesting from the 8K to 30K to 100K months with the manifesting course and visualization with Reagan Hillier and Mind Body. And I'm doing that twice a day. To breath work with Qvita, if that's how you pronounce it, with Juan Pa, which is, interestingly enough, Regan's husband. And also, part of what I'm co-creating and manifesting is an incredible love story. So isn't it interesting that I'm listening to a couple that has a beautiful love story that radically changed both of their lives? Isn't that interesting? To listening to Lazy Millionaire, the podcast, and watching reels from Amy, who has not only manifested 500K plus months with her online courses, to where she's also helped people manifest 30K, 70K, 250K plus months with their courses. So to listening to her podcast episodes, from visualization to manifesting to those testimonials, to behind the scenes with her launch, so that I'm focused on, hey, of course this is possible for me. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? And getting in that vibe, to listening to 888 frequencies, to where I'm in that flow and that creation, to where nothing feels rushed. It feels easy. And even today, for example, I, set an intention for co-creation and alignment today, just to give you another preview of a day in the life, like another recent episode on the podcast. And if you haven't listened to that, definitely go listen to that, is being in the energy and flow of ease. So I, set an intention for today that I'm worthy as I am. I'm worthy of wealth, wonder, and a wonderful man. I'm worthy of $8,000 plus, of 12 people in my Creator to Cash course. And I'm worthy of 30K months. I am worthy and aligned to 100K months. And I was available to wake up at 5, 6, 7 a.m. like I have often in the past. However, I didn't sleep so good yesterday, and I woke up several times. So I also gave myself the freedom and the permission to sleep in if I needed to. And I woke up at 9 without an alarm clock, which is later by 2 to 3 hours than I normally do without an alarm clock. Then I felt led to have a more aligned morning routine, to read the Bible. I was reading about David and Solomon and the creation of the temple, to saying prayers for my future husband, to diving into my shadow work journal, to listening to Manifesting with Regan Hillier, to then ordering groceries. I moved spaces here in Bali and Ubud yesterday, to ordering some groceries, to cooking and eating calmly, easily, to now recording several different episodes for the show. And what's interesting, you guys, is as I was going through that morning routine, I got even more clarity on the value with ease, the divine downloads, the inspired action, like I say, and also how Cassandra Bodzak says that I also do EFT via her YouTube videos, to Amanda Francis that I also tuned into one of her episodes yesterday. And I received the divine downloads to create this episode behind the scenes with the launch, revisit some of the past content I've already shared, create value, also to share this as an Instagram reel, to align the content. So listen to all the wisdom I'm giving you to make content easy. One of my recent Instagram reels at Katrina Julia Fit, I posted content is everything and everything is content, because it is. Also, I received the divine downloads to record an episode on B2B Apollo, emails to focus on what emails I created in Kajabi that are automated in a funnel that aligns to passive income with my Creator Cash Toolkit, how I used Instagram Reels in my launch, separate episode, how I 10x my content in my launch easily with these 3 tools, separate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes that will align to 4 reels easily and effortlessly. And I'm time blocking these episodes, then I'm recording them back to back to back right now. So right after I finish this episode, I'm going into the Apollo, I'm going into IG Reels, I'm going into 10xing content. So I estimate it'll be between 15 times 4, an hour to 2 hours ish. But I'm not creating I'm pouring out value. I'm not creating a specific exact timeline. I'm saying, okay, this is going to take me between 40 minutes to 2 hours max. But I'm giving myself the freedom to co-create in the space and energy of this is a minimum $12,000 launch. Oh, that's interesting. I initially said 8,400 and what just came through for me to speak was 12K. That's interesting. Isn't that interesting? Because right away I caught myself like, wait a minute, you said 8,400, but then you said 12K and you felt so assured. Like, of course. So in any event, then I'm clear on the next blog post and podcast that I'm creating about Bali real estate and the research I've done about Bali real estate and creating sustainable homes, a retreat center, a created center with bamboo, and the research I've done on 10 ways to use AI leading into my launch of Creator to CMO. And the course there, and the guidebook there on 5 steps to launch. Like, I already have the guidebook. It's already done. I already have the outline for the course. It's already done. It's a matter of just recording the face-to-face and behind-the-scenes videos. And then doing a recap of August, because we're now on August 22nd, and I share Creator CEO Confessions on the show and on the blog and in the news. Oh, no, on the show and on the newsletter, not on the blog, because this is intentionally designed to drive the podcast downloads. So I am now at 20-ish minutes on this episode. And so stay tuned, because on the next one, I'm going to dive in deeper into the business strategy on how I used Apollo for this launch. And what's really juicy, you guys, Apollo is I've tested a number of different tools for IO, intelligent outreach. I love Apollo. And I also used and am using Apollo very strategically on my retreats and on content bundles. So I'm going to share that on a subsequent episode after the Creator to Cash launch. I'm just making a note because that divine download just came through to create value on the podcast, on the show, on Instagram Reels, and then also with all the features, all the things. And then I may likely do a juicy YouTube video on some behind the scenes there to create value and connect to Creator to Cash, Creator to CMO as part of the CMO launch. That just came through too. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, bam, bam. It gets to be easy. And that's the thing that I've been telling myself over and over and over. Okay. So then the rest of my day looks like once I record, just to give you another kind of behind the scenes of what's happening. Because years ago, when I worked for an oil and gas company, and I was 55 pounds heavier, I worked straight oftentimes from 8 or 9 a.m. until 9 or 10 p.m. I would barely take bathroom breaks. I would drink coffee. I would barely eat. Usually I did not eat unless it was a meeting, or eat crap. I did not love myself, did not take care of myself well. And in the first year of working alongside that company, I manifested over $5 million in value, and I was paid $80,000, which I'm very grateful for that salary. Okay. Very. Then the second year manifested over, I think it was about 8 million. I had a salary of over 80K. However, I also manifested 10K in one day because I literally spoke it into existence with the CFO that, hey, you're paying all these consultants tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars all these months. Why not for the second phase of the project, stop them, focus on the three of us implementing the project for the rest of these 10, 15 locations. So you'll save X. Your ROI is going to be through the roof. You can save that to the board of directors. And why don't you give us a minimum $10,000 bonus each? Boom. Literally, you guys, I had a $10,000 check in my hand the next day. And everyone was like, because we were all in that meeting. And I said it like clearly, boldly, unapologetically. Oh, I just had a epiphany to add a 10K manifestation also episode, which I may do on my YouTube because I kind of like that idea on my YouTube. And I know that's really popular, and then repurpose it on the show. You see how that just came through too? Because the more you create, literally. And another one of my rules is create far more than you consume. So I consumed, I read different things this morning. Then I listened to Regan Hillier in the manifesting course. Then I did breath work also. I mentioned that earlier. So I consumed those. Now I'm literally creating over 4 or 5 different episodes with a clear lineup of what's next. Then when I do my social media outline later on and what's coming, I'm going to add in these previews as well, with maybe a preview of the audio clipped and then just a picture or something directly correlated with a keyword automated via ManyChat as well to the podcast, right? So after this, I'm going to do a workout after the episodes. So I'm going to do a workout and I'm going to eat. I'm just retyping on my time blocking spreadsheet right now. Then I'm going to take a bath and listen to more manifesting and prayer. Then I am going to listen to Herbalife training series and some AI and focus there because that's directly correlated to the course as well, and all my courses, because I include transformation toolkits and health, wealth, and business, or wellness, wealth, and adventure. Then I have and keep in mind, you guys, all throughout my day, I have space. I have blank spaces in case things take me longer than I thought, and so I don't feel the pressure. Then I have some pink time for self-love and self-care, whether it's prayer, manifesting, breathwork. Then I'm recording 3 different short episodes on a flosser, on my toothbrush, and on Skin Body, a viral, incredible dermaplanning tool and company via TikTok Shop. You guys, if you're not on TikTok Shop, you are missing out. Like, it's crazy what's happening on TikTok Shop. People in my community with Brands Meet Creators, one of the communities I'm in, like, are generating tens to hundreds of K on TikTok Shop alone from like a single freaking 10-second viral video that has 10 million views. Like, it's crazy, cray. Like, the levels of abundance that surround us now compared to say 10, 20 years ago is massive. So I was on TikTok Shop. I was qualified as a TikTok Shop as a brand. Then TikTok Shop removed that. I was like, you know what? No problem. This is an opportunity for me to level up my TikTok Shop. This is my opportunity for me to level up my TikTok content, post more, get to the 1K or 5K that they now require. And in the meantime, they may invite me as a creator. They may give different access again. Like, let me not be bummed. Let me keep co-creating. And in the meantime, let me pitch the brands directly for UGC, user generated content, and share on Insta as part of my Creator CEO Bestie series. Boom, boom, boom. Just turn it around. Then eat, bath, clear the content, clear social and my phone. I always like my aim. So when I left Bali last time, my phone was right at about 400 pics and videos, which is way more than I usually have. While I was in Austria, I decreased it to about under 200. I have it now back to under 100. Like, and over 15 of that is pictures and videos that align to vision and what I'm creating. So even my photos and videos are super intentional on my phone. So earlier this week, I had it like under 50. Like, I'm fanatical about clearing stuff. And I recommend you do the same, because then you're saying to the creator, and you're in co-creation, that I have space for more. I have space for more. I'm available for more. Also, along those lines, you guys, eliminate decision fatigue, eliminate decision making. Like, I'm sitting here recording episodes in my robe. I eat pretty much the same things every single day, between Herbalife nutrition, between eggs, between protein, between savory, like alternating between savory and or like sweet, depending on what my body's calling for, like avocado, chicken, eggs, protein, always protein, or a smoothie bowl with chia and different things. Okay, so eliminate, as a creator CEO, decision fatigue. As part of my launch, which I'm going to talk about in an upcoming episode, I shared an amazing reel on creator CEO energy. I'll do something about that too. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, that may be an upcoming episode inspired by my reel. You see how everything is content, and content is everything. You can leverage long form, short form across so many different things. So many different things, you guys. Okay, so there you have it. Behind the scenes with the Creator to Cash launch. I didn't finish my day. So clearing the social media on the phone, then another bath, because I love baths. I love how Amy with Lazy Millionaire talks about the spa. I also love the spa and go on massages like every week or every other week in Bali and in Thailand for sure this year, because they're so amazingly cost effective and I always tip very well. I also love baths in the same way baths put me literally in such a flow state. Like, I adore baths. And my family does not. My mom does not. My dad does not. Like, they are 100% shower people. So this is completely me and or like somewhere in my generational line. But it's like nowhere visible. Like, my brother doesn't, my grandma didn't, my aunts don't. So it's really interesting. Okay. So then I have a money date where I'm going to focus on vision, cash flow, reviewing some debt. Then it's breath work. Then it's social media, because I was blocking a lot of different times coming up with social media. However, yesterday I received the divine download to add in a new tool or with social media and shift my time with social media again. And so, like, yesterday, I scheduled, I think, over 10 different social media reels. Like, it was insane, the level of energy that was pouring out. And how my social media is flowing now with every single platform, especially for Instagram and then to all the other, is way different than it did years ago. Like, from the divine downloads to the quality to the messaging to the value, everything. And then I created quite a bit of space, and then I have clear email and scale. And yesterday I received several emails on potential projects. I also reached out to several potential possibilities also with brands in the midst of all of this. So more than enough space. And then I have space for finishing the Transformation Church Overflow series with Pastor Michael Todd, and then my Sacred 7 morning. And then I also keep in my time tracker an ongoing like 2 to 3 spaces for revelations. Like, anything that comes through to shift my energy, to shift my space, whatever the case is. Okay. So leave a review for the show so I can shout you out. Drop your Instagram handle, your website, whatever you want me to share, and tag me on social media at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation. Let me know if you dive in and jump into the Creator to Cash Toolkit. If you're in the course, would love to share some love. And as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire. You are born to.